What's up, guys? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Dream Machine Academy. Today, we're going to be talking to you about why you should be using as much video as possible. So we got a really interesting stat to start this off, let you guys see how important video really is in your campaigns, your marketing campaigns. So WordStream did a study, and they're saying that social video is shared 1,200% more times than photos and text combined. And that's really the whole idea here. You want to get as much exposure as possible with your marketing campaigns. And you know, this is WordStream has proved that video is the platform to do that with. That's the content you should be putting out if you want to get those shares and that exposure.
Right, so video is going to be something that you can directly target to your audience, and so that instead of just posting a picture that can only give limited amount of information, a video is something that in the same amount of time that they might be spending looking at a picture, say 3 to 6 seconds, is something that can offer so much more value. And this stat proves that people are going to be more engaged by it and want to share it more. And you know, obviously more shares is more eyes that see it and more people that get to see what you're doing. So something like this can be something that, you know, you're sharing an idea that you have or something more interesting, such as like a technique that you use in your artistry and some stuff like that. Instead of just posting a picture with a short description, people aren't as interested and are going to fly by that description before they get to see the point of your image, so they don't get as much value from it as they might from a video.
Right, exactly. I think one of the interesting points that you made is that a photo might capture someone's attention for 6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
So before they decide to like it or not.
Right, exactly. But a video, if you capture their attention within those 6 seconds, you can hook them for however long your video is. You might be able to hook them for, maybe your video is a minute long, they'll watch the whole thing. Maybe your video is 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
And you, instead of them just seeing 6 seconds scrolling right by, you've got their attention. Now you can, you know, pitch them what you have, or you can sell them on your music, or get them to become a fan, get them to buy your song, subscribe, whatever it is.
It gives you the ability to expand on that, whatever you were trying to give.
Yeah.
Because you have more opportunity to keep their eyes on the image, on the video.
On the video, right.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, I mean, if you go down your Instagram feed right now, if you go on your Explore page right now, or your Facebook feed right now, 90% of that's all video.
Yeah.
And they're predicting it to be even more in the future, which is why it's important to kind of get your hands in it now and get your feet wet and just try it out, figure it out, because that's where things are definitely moving to. YouTube just launched their live TV platform. This is the way that it's moving. So video content, you know, should be the thing that a lot of people are focusing on now. You know, some companies are saying that you should post like five videos a day on Facebook in order to like hack their algorithm and be able to show up more. So you know, now is the time to put out video content and get the exposure that way. And there's a lot of ways that you can do it. You mentioned a few of them. So let's talk about a few of the like video ideas that people can put out as artists.
So the ideas for creating video content are kind of limitless. It's open to your imagination and what you can kind of think of. So some of the ideas that we can give you are beyond full-blown music videos, because it doesn't always have to be just a music video. You want to separate that, because what we're trying to show you is that video content in many forms is what you want to grab your audience's attention with, and that's going to be stuff that gets behind the music and not just focused strictly on your music. So that's stuff that's like song stories, which is still talking about your music, but this is going beyond what the song is. This is going beyond like just listening to the song. This is showing you how the song was made, what went into the song, because people love to dive in deep with you nowadays, and they want to see like, why did you write those lyrics? Like, what made you write those words? Because just behind a couple of words that you write, there's a whole story of why you did that. So song stories are cool. Anything behind the scenes related that kind of shows the making of your music, things like that. And then you can even branch off into your brand. And if you watched our episode about brand image and you did the exercises to find out what your core value is, you can go off and make videos that are just about your core value. And they don't even mention your music, but they're mentioning what your brand is. So they're talking about, as for an example, I mean, how if we talked about like what you're happy about, and we talked about if you were happy about making money and that's what your song's about.
Right.
You could talk about tips for how you make money, tips for how you save money, tips for how you hustle harder, things like that. Mm-hmm. And those are the things that are going to just continuously grab more audience instead of just the people that want to listen to your music. These are going to be the people that follow you because of that core value. So you always want to think out there, and then I can give you a couple of examples, but it's limitless. Like I said, it goes beyond just a few rules. You can really come up with anything that you want.
Yeah, I think what's important to remember here is that I think when people think about video content, they think it's such a big undertaking, like, okay, I'm going to make a music video.
Right.
Right? They're kind of one-track minded because it's kind of a new form of content. It's becoming a lot more obtainable to the greater audience. You know, before you'd have to hire a really big production company, or your video would look like crap.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you can get affordable, really good-looking stuff. And with the way that social media is moving, and since this is like you're going to be releasing this content on a social platform for the most part, you can use things like your cell phone, your iPhone camera, or your whatever camera, because that's what people are used to seeing nowadays, and that's kind of what people are used to seeing on social media. And it might even perform better than using really professional equipment, because it is on this platform where it was dominated for a while in advertising by like really good, high quality movie cinematic type things, and people are kind of shifting from that to wanting to see more of like a reality-based content, your real life. As an artist, you should be putting out your real life. So why can't you use your phone to shoot it, or something that's doesn't have to be as crazy, as big of a budget in order to make. So I think the important thing to remember is that don't get too crazy about it. Shoot something that you can shoot and put it out there.
Yeah. And so what we always recommend is artists just getting onto maybe Instagram stories or Snapchat stories, and just having kind of a thing that's consistent. So this is a really cool idea where you can just have a certain thing. So we did, just for the sake of an easy argument, it's Freestyle Fridays or something like that. So for an example is you would have that freestyle out every Friday. But instead of just sitting in your room and freestyling, which could work for your brand or could work for your audience, you want to give the audience something a little bit extra, something that somebody's not going to just be in their room rapping or freestyling. It's something you want to do is maybe bring that out to the streets, bring it out to an environment that like you're not supposed to be freestyling. So go to a museum with your phone and go as long as you can with the freestyle in the museum, and go to different museums every Friday. Yeah, and before you get kicked out, put getting kicked out on video,
Exactly.
because that's going to be an edge. You want to get people interested and be like, you want people to see like, oh, well, this kid's crazy. Like, what is he doing? And it might not be that crazy of a thing, but it's something that people would still be more interested in than just seeing you in your bedroom in kind of like a generic state where they pass through many videos of that situation. But now you've made it a big to-do where it's like people want to see that. People are going to share that, be like, this kid's crazy. He did this thing, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you want to think about. And that gives you something that you could do with just your phone. Because video is very accessible now, like you mentioned, but you also want to make sure you're using the right tools for the right moment, because that's something obviously that's strictly for your phone. People really don't watch story video if it's done with professional cameras and edited professionally. Yeah. They don't really even want to see it. They're kind of off-put by it.
Yeah, each outlet has its own
its own style. So when you're thinking about like more produced videos, just do what you can. Like reach to the greatest limit that you can reach at that moment. If it's a camera that's maybe a little bit better than your phone, grab it. See how you can set it up. If you need lights, go to the hardware store and buy an $8 work light and stick it on you, and it will look better than no light. Mm-hmm. And that's something that's very, very affordable, accessible. That's something how we started out when we did videos, and how a lot of people start out and they just kind of do DIY. Because nowadays it's more familiar nowadays to see videos that aren't professionally to the T made, but you still want to have a very good image, and as you grow, you want your image quality to grow with you. You don't want to always be stuck doing the smallest thing you can. You want to reach past that, because what a higher production video does is adds production value, which is something that when the eye sees that, they're like, okay, this is something more worth my time. Because if you're just keep putting up iPhone videos and it's not working for that target of kind of the video you want to do, people are going to be interested and they're not going to trust that this video is going to be valuable. They're not going to trust the resources or the information that it's giving, and they're just kind of going to be skipping that. So you want to make sure that you're following whatever type of video you're doing with the right quality of image. So like we said, there's levels of it that you can do on your iPhone. Then you want to step up to maybe a DSLR, which is affordable nowadays because you can get a 1080p HD one for maybe a couple $100 nowadays. And then the lights, you can just get creative, go online and figure it out. Or better yet, if you have a friend that can do it or a company that can help you and you can afford it, that's something else you want to reach into.
Yeah.
And so with those, we offer those services as well, and we do them in affordable rates for artists so that they can have that professional content. That's kind of why we did this visual studio.
Right, exactly. You touched on a lot of points there. I think the last one, mentioning that you should reach as far as you can for what you can, but you can't do everything.
Right.
So, we should make another episode about investing in yourself, like what you should spend your time doing versus where it'd be better for you to allocate some money and some budget because you just don't have the time to think about that. You don't have the tools, the resources, and you can't do it, the best to your ability. There's other people that are better than you in certain things. So, definitely think about that when you're considering everything you're doing, music or videos or whatever it is. And also, too, what you mentioned that I thought was really cool was being practicing shock value, doing the museum thing, or whatever it is that's going to get people to stop, look, and share your content, because that's what is going to get people to share it. The things that they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yeah.
And then now you're getting in front of, everyone's got at least 1,000 people on Facebook really nowadays. So now one person shares that, and now you're in front of 1,000 other people's eyes that you didn't have access to before. And then what are the ratios that those people are going to share it? You know what I mean? So I think in that NWA, Dr. Dre, HBO, the Defiant Ones, the documentary, really what I got out of that was, and what we kind of both got out of that, was the shock value that Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine and everybody kept practicing. And Jimmy Iovine even said it on that label that he had. There was 5 different, totally different genres, and they were all just the craziest people in those genres. And they got mad publicity. They were all over the news. Every major move that they did had some sort of shock value to it. And look at them, super successful people. So that's the point here, is just to do something that, and it doesn't always have to be so crazy, oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that. It could be something like, oh, that's super creative. That was a really cool way of shooting this video,
right.
Or this is a really cool, whatever it is. It doesn't always have to be, ridiculous. Right. But, try to think about that whenever you're creating this content, because you do want to get the shares. That's really what it's all about.
So to take action after this video, try to sit down with a couple of friends and see if you can come up with some creative ideas, what kind of content you can create with what you have right now, with the resources you have, or reach out to some friends that maybe can do it for you. And also go ahead and check out our website, where we show a lot of different examples of work that we've done, things that we can help you with, and we're not ever opposed to answering any questions that you have. So you guys can go on there, send us an email, call us, shoot us a text. We can take text from our number. And we'd love to help you out with that and see if there's anything that we can help or offer as a service to you and maybe help you grow your brand.
Also, one more resource for you guys to check out is our free brand review. So if you go on to dreammachinerec.com/mybrand, one word, you will be able to submit your social media links to us, your website if you have one, and we're gonna check that out, let you know what we think, what's working for you, what could be improved in order for you to kind of reach that next level that you want to get to.